welcome back to another episode of
Weeble Slice.
So, today, we're changing the format up a little different today.
Hey, y'all see us? We on the big screen.
So, before we even get into anything, make sure you like,
comment,
share, and subscribe to the channel. But the reason why we on the full screen today is because we are doing our initial impressions of solo leveling. And yes, we already know it's been a highly anticipated show. So we decided, okay, let's go ahead and give our reaction to the particular first episode. Did it live up to the hype or did it not? So, sir, you read the manga, so you had a pretty upset notion before coming to this show.
Oh, 100%. I would say, so far, it is living up to the hype.
Just the first episode, so don't try to get...
Yeah, the first episode is living up to the hype. Just watching it in an animation form versus reading it page by page or scrolling, scroll by scroll. And you can kind of see them bringing life to the character.
Yeah, Jung-woo. I think his name is Jung-woo. But Jung-woo, I like him. I think he's one of them characters, but I think he's kind of, I don't want to say it, but he's kind of remind me of like the stereotypical shonen character nowadays.
Super weak, then get strong.
Yeah. Like extra timid and stuff like that. Yeah, eventually he become, through levels of progression, training and all that stuff. The Deku, other worlds and stuff like that.
Nah, if I had to compare him to another anime character, I would compare him to Alpharetta from Weakest to World's Strongest. I would compare him to him.
I don't know.
Because, well, I know a lot more, but I'm telling you.
But you don't need to foreshadow because you read the manga. I'm talking about just
off the first episode, I was still comparing to him. Because in Alpharetta, you remember, he kept crying. I don't want to die. I want to survive. No matter how, like he was legitimately crying. And he reminds me of that type of character.
But I will say this. Most of them characters that fit this particular template have really soft spots for people overall. They use themselves and they sacrifice themselves without the second thought. And in hindsight, when they use that type of mindset, it usually give them a lot of feedback. Oh, not a good, what's the word I'm looking for?
It gives them motivation.
Not just motivation, but it gives them a lot of power, or they get something incentivized for being selfless.
Yeah.
That's what I was getting at. They get incentivized for being selfless. And it happens in a lot of different shows as well. But I will say this. If we had to grade it right now, for the first episode alone, I think it was a B. I know a lot of people were so happy just on the thought of it actually coming to anime form. And me personally, I didn't read the manga, so I didn't come in with a lot of anticipation. So I'm just happy that I didn't read the manga because you can probably be misled or kind of disappointed. Like, man, I thought this was going to be way better in anime form compared to manga form.
Yeah, I think that right now everyone's still trying to fill it out and see how is it going to go. I think the biggest thing, I'm just talk about the elephant in the room, is the pacing.
Yeah.
The pacing is, in my opinion, slow.
So, did you hear there's only listed for like 12 episodes, something like that?
Yeah, I think it's got to be like 12 or 13 episodes, but I think that the pacing is really slow. In my opinion, this is my opinion, I think they should have took the Sasaki and Peeps approach and did an hour or 45-minute first episode to knock a lot of the BS out of it. The building up the character, the understanding the background, the understanding the other characters, and getting right into what everybody want to see. The action.
That's the point for me as well. Because as it's recording, it's 3 episodes out, right? I'm not going to say anything from the second or third episode. But I will say this. The first episode, it leaves you like very kind of wanting more. It increased your thirst. You were still thirsty after that first episode. And you still had to wait another week. And right now, we still kind of... The second episode, I'm not going to say anything, but it helps out. It helps out a lot compared to the first episode. And the third episode is kind of back to like the first episode again. Like you still want more. And you kind of... They're bacon call at that point.
Yeah.
Because you are waiting week by week for a new episode. And I'm like, man,
Yeah, if you think about it, because you're off, if they would have just took those first 2 episodes and put them to one, that would have been a lot better.
Agreed.
And you would have had a better understanding. Okay, and then it would have left you at a spot where yes, I want more, but I am satisfied.
But
so
now, besides just giving our initial impressions of it, we can talk about the episode a little bit. The episode starts out, the main protagonist, like we referenced earlier, is relatively weak. In this particular show, you are born with a certain amount of powers. You can't get any stronger. You cannot progress up. It is what it is. You are born with your set of skills. That is it. So he was a part of a party, and they decided to go into this dungeon. They go into this dungeon, and he obviously the weakest person. He actually got beat up a little bit by some goblins. Kind of cliche at this point. We talk about a lot of goblins. And the girl that really likes him heals him after he gets beat up a little bit. So the people, let me know if I'm going too fast. The people defeated all the goblins. He's part of a party. And they're like, because when you defeat certain quests, you get money. And obviously everybody wants money.
Yeah, just like pretty much every RPG, there's drops at the end. Every time that you go into an instance, it's depending on the level. Which this guy, he's F ranked, so he can only do E ranked dungeons, or those even give him trouble because he's the world's weakest is his nickname because he's weaker than anybody that you might know. So he's trying to earn money as a hunter because he's for a sick bomb and help put his sister through school. Yep. So already he's a selfless person, and that's the only thing that he knows how. But his power level is so weak that anything, the blow of the wind could destroy him.
Yeah, so to add to that, they complete the quest due to his party members, right? But foreshadow what his skill is right now, since he was getting beat up so much and he fought in so many battles, he's able to predict certain movements and stuff before it actually happens because he's been beat on so much. So they complete the quest, but they see a new door just appear out of their pure magic. It just appeared. And the party decided to do a vote. Half the party did not want to go, half the party did want to go. So somebody had to be the tiebreaker. So
and you know who it was? It was your weak boy. He was like, you know what, man? I need this money. Yeah. This money.
So he was like, that's the only thing he was thinking about was taking care of his sick mother. So he decided to break the tie, and they go inside this dungeon. Now, as soon as they enter this dungeon, all you see is nothing but gigantic statues. I mean, Attack on Titan size statues, right? So within the first, I say 15 seconds, they get in there and they just reading the scripture and what they said, because the scripture itself is basically the rules of the game. And they didn't want to listen to the scripture. They just we're gonna just overpower these beings, and we just gonna get out this room because they think it's a regular normal quest. But quick to find out, those things is one hit. One hit
wonders.
You are gone. One hit. That's all it takes.
Your boy thought he was fast. He said, I'm just going to just make a break for it.
And got evaporated. And that's a topic for another conversation. But yes, so that was kind of the overview of the whole first episode. It kind of gave you a teaser, a snippet of what to look for.
You see those statues' eyes move and you like, and I didn't like how animated the statue was, not until episode 2, but it just looked a little off, just the way that it was compared to the manga. Just the standing still, it was just something I don't know what I didn't like about it. I was like, it looked a little off, but it got better in episode 2.
And that's what I saw too, because obviously if you haven't been watching the channel, we did multiple reactions to the trailers, and one of our thumbnails was the grin of the statue that was in episode 2. And to be honest with you, the whole time I was looking for that grin in episode 1, and I'm like, God, when's it gonna show up? And then like, okay, it didn't surprise me. Now I'm okay, because I'm like, when is this going to actually? Because I know they're trying to build suspense in the show as well, get you invested emotionally, and I'm like,
Well, Crunchyroll is a bunch of teasers and
Trolls.
trollers with those 3 trailers they put in there just to get you all excited. So you can't trust Crunchyroll. Don't tell them I said that. Hey, Crunchyroll, we love you.
But that's about the quick summary of. Is anything else I'm missing in this particular episode?
No, I think that overall, everyone watched the episode just because behind the hype of Soul Leveling. I think as it continues to go and develop the story, everyone will continue to watch. It's the thing that's going to initially probably break the internet with Soul Leveling is how it ends or where they decide to end it.
Yep.
So hopefully they end it in a good spot because the way that it's starting off slow, I think this is going to end slow. You start how you end. So
I don't know, because I don't want to compare this to My Hero, but in majority of My Hero encores at the end of the season, it'd be like a huge synop. Like, it just end off on a real big bang. Like, you know what I'm talking about. Every ending of each season is just such a big finish. It's like a fatality. But now, that's going to conclude this real fast. So, sir, did the Soul Leveling episode live up to the hype, or did it not?
I would say it lived up to the hype, and just the pacing's the biggest thing, and that's going to continue to be the story, I think, throughout the whole 12 or 13 episodes that everyone will continue to either criticize or praise them for. But it's all about the pacing of the story and making sure you captivate and keep people's attention.
Yeah, so like I said, I didn't come in with any pre-notion of the story, so I'm kind of going in blindside, which I enjoy because I don't have to be like, oh, a lot of this show has a huge fan base, and they are living and dying by this particular show. And people was highly upset that certain people from certain certain clubs wasn't sold by the first episode. And I can understand why, because it wasn't too much to sell me on.
Nah, it wasn't. It wasn't a lot.
So I'm going to continue to enjoy the show. I'm coming in, like I said, me personally, a lot of people would think the show is S-class. He probably even think it's S-class from the manga. But right now it's a B. So it's a show that I get excited for every week. It drops every Saturday at 11 Central. And I check it out because certain episodes be fire. Like I said, I'm not going to mention any future episodes, but certain episodes that already dropped was fire. That's all I would say.
Oh. Well, make sure you guys like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel.
Make sure you keep checking out those shorts. But as always, we are Weeboo Slice, and we are
out.
Go to sleep.